What is up, guys? In today's video I'm gonna be explaining how to play Nidalee Reroll properly in high elo, so you guys know how the challenger players are playing this comp. Let's get into it. First of all, the strategy is very important. If you don't have a clue about money management, please watch my other video about how to manage your econ in this game. But if you already know, then we're gonna start off. You want to lose spree. With this comp, you're not trying to win early and unless you're high rolling really hard. So what you're trying to get early is like a Nidalee. I've actually did this. A Nidalee, a Skarner, and a Vlad, and that's your board. You're trying to lose spree. If you get like an augment where you get like calculated loss, where you get 2 gold and a free reroll every time you lose, basically an insta win. If you get something like trade sector where you get a free reroll every round as well, basically free because it compares very well with the astral trait. Now, the reason why you're trying to lose spree is you want to have as much money as possible after Crux, because then you're gonna hyper roll down to hit Nidalee 3, and from there on out, you're gonna start win spree. So you're most likely gonna go from like I'd say 5 lose spree into like 5 to 7 win spree. So this is kind of what your board looks like early. You don't level, you stay level 3, and then once you hit level 4, naturally, you can play like a Gnar. But like I said, you're trying to econ as much as possible. For example, if you have like 28 gold going into the first carousel, just sell the Gnar and just play 3 units, because you're trying to lose anyways, and a Gnar is not going to help you. You don't even need to slam items. Like the only reason you would slam items is to either win spree, or your opponents are really that strong that you're just going to kill like 1 or 2 units, but you don't want to risk to win early. So basically, this is what your board looks like after Crux. And what you're going to do is you're going to most likely have 50 gold, and you are going to roll down all your gold until you hit Nidalee 3. And this means you can also pick up Skarners and Vlads, because you want to thin out the pool from the astrals. So as soon as you hit Nidalee 3, you are gonna try and cut down the astral units. You no longer need these. So assuming this Nidalee is a 3-star, right? Maybe you already 3-starred these as well. You can run them for like a couple rounds, but what you're trying to implement is this. You are trying to get in things like maybe Nico is a bit too far-fetched right now. Do like this, and then maybe another shapeshifter. Then we're gonna add something like an Elise. And then if you're very lucky, you can ditch the Skarner for something like a Nico. Nico is very important in this comp as well. So basically, this is what your board should look like going towards wolves. Now, for items. Items are very, very, very important on in this comp. If you are starting the game with like, I don't know, magic resist, AP, and like armor, you're gonna have a tough time if you don't get dropped any bows or like any PFs or like a crit cloak. But like the core items on Nidalee is gonna be this. You're gonna run the Rage Blade, you're gonna run the Q assist, and now the best item you can go is Death Blade, because Death Blade scales really, really well with 3 stars. But you can also, like, if you don't get the Death Blade, you can also run something like a Giant Slayer. Just don't run anything like Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster. That's not enough. You need the damage. So I would say either Death Blade, or if you're not getting the item, you can also go a Giant Slayer. But this is preferably, right? Now, moving on, the items for Nico are also pretty important. So in every single comp, you want to have anti-healing. So I would recommend Sunfire, Gargoyles, and then you can just flex the next item you get. Like maybe it's another Gargoyles, but like something like Warmox is the best. And then you can always run something like Frozen Heart on your Gnar, because he jumps in the backline, right? Now, moving on, after Wolves, I'm gonna give you an example of what an after Wolves comp would look like. So you are gonna go and add Trash. This way you have Whispers in and you have Guardians. This might not seem very significant, But the whispers actually helps a lot. Imagine this. You are against an Idas with these items. Your Nidalee is gonna get stuck on this, while the Corki is gonna rain down on your Nidalee, and your Nidalee is gonna die. But if you have Whisper, you can actually deny so much value from the tank items. You can actually kill this unit. Obviously, you want the position in a way where your Nidalee doesn't go on the Idas, but if it does, the Whispers really help. But if you look at this comp, this is not like a guaranteed top 4. The thing you want to find is Xiaoyu. This gives you 6 jade, and it gives you like the healing you need on the Nidalee, because she has a lot of HP, and it also gives you the attack speed your Nidalee needs. And something like for positioning, something like this would be fine. Give me 1 second. Something like this, and you can, like, if there's like a hook bait, if there's like a blitzcrank hook, you can put the Tarek here, or you can just switch these. Like, it doesn't really matter, like, the positioning here, and you'll have just a jade statue here, and you'll have one to help the Nico. Now, this, once you have established this in low elo, you're most likely already going to win. And like items for Xiaoyu could be anything from this and like whatever else you want, but these are like really good on him. But once you've established this, there's a big chance you're gonna win the game, or top 4 at least in your lower elo games, or like normal games. But if you're in higher elo, you want to go and try to go to level 9, because you are gonna swap out your Xiaoyu for another shapeshifter. This is what your end game board should look like. And this, and we're gonna remove the Tarek for like a Soraka. This is what an endgame board should look like. The 6 shapeshifter just gives so much value. Once again, you can also run this at level 8 if you find a Shyvana and just ditch the trash if there's no like massive beefy frontline. But this is like the end game board for Nidalee Reroll. It's very strong because, like, to recap, you're going into a loose spree, so you have a lot of money. If you're lucky, you're not going to have to roll all your money. You're going to have like 30 gold left. You're going to go into this massive win spree. Then you're going to hit either Shyvana or Xiaoyu, which means basically an instant top 4 or the chance to top 1. So yeah, this is a very easy comp to play, but it's very item dependent. So like, this is actually a comp you can force very easily. And the reason what you do is, like, you look at your items. If you start with like a BF, bow and AP, or like crit, you're like, okay, I can build these items, and if you lose spree, you also have a bigger chance to get your items at the carousel. And then the only thing you need to do is scout in the lobby to see if anyone else is going to comp. Now, if you're committed to this comp and you see someone else is going Nidalee, like all of a sudden, you're probably like, shit. This is not good because we're going the same comp. Now, what you can do actually is transition into another comp. You can actually go Varus. But I already made a video on that, so if you want to know how to play Varus, just watch that video. But like, if you're seeing in the early game that someone is contesting your Nidalee, all you have to do is just to go to level 7 and just do the Varus strategy instead, because they have very similar items. The only difference is, like, instead of the QSS, you run a Renounce Hurricane on the Varus. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions about this comp, feel free to leave it in the comments. I will be replying to all of those. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
Wait, what's his name? I'm like, what'd he say, bitch? I don't want your 2 cents. You ain't even paid, bitch. We are not the same.